Hi guys, today we'll try to make a micro interaction. We made an Adobe XD for our prototype and put it in Rive so our developers can pretty much plug and play it and they love you for it. Let's see what are we trying to do today. So this is basically a simple review slider. You've got 5 points in it. The first one starts with like this guy's smiley. If it's on number three, oh that's impressed. Number two, pretty sad. Number one, angry as fuck and thumbs down, and the max is it's pretty chill and gives you a thumbs up. So basic, simple, clean animation, just a bit of interactivity to make your app more interesting or your platform more interesting. And this is something if the developers make themselves, it might take them a bit of a painful procedure, but something you can do very easily and very quickly. So let's just jump into it. So on our Rive folder, you can go on your Rive file. You can create any folder. I've already created a folder. You can click here, new folder. I have a folder set. You can click here, new file, make a new file. I've already got a file that I've created, so I'm gonna jump into the file. Basically, the first thing you'll do is you'll import the SVG that you have created. So this is the SVG file that I have here. Well, it supports raster images too now, but I recommend using SVGs because they have better performance and you can play with them more and animate them. So we have this thing, everything in the group. Let's see if it's got everything. What are the other elements we have? We've got the frown and thumbs down. So this has face item, glasses, the worries, frown, and the thumbs down. Yep, so we've got everything. We'll take it and export it. Export it in the as an SVG. Presentation attributes embedded. Done. I already have it there, so it'll give me a replace option. Done. When you've exported it, find it, and time to drag and drop it into your file. So what you're seeing right now is sometimes happens with Drive. It gets stuck like this. Don't worry, just go there and then press. You can hit refresh and it'll load back. It's annoying, but it's a good useful tool. So I'll let them be. So it's loaded back. Let's see. Go back. Take this bad boy. Drag him in. Importing SVG. Yep, it's all in. I'll take him, copy him here, put him on my artboard. Oops, select the artboard, paste him here. As you can see, the whole group is a bit wider outside the smiley because of the thumb, and it makes this anchor point. This up arrow, red up arrow, and green right arrow is the anchor point. So this anchor point is responsible how it behaves and where you move things. And I just like to keep it in the middle for the visual proportion, so I can also see some red marks because Rive doesn't have the rulers and the snap to grid, so you just have to rely on your visual cues, and this kind of thing can be annoying. So what I'll do is I'll press Y, and then it'll do freeze active. You can take it here, drag it, and see visually what feels like the center to you. This it'll give you some cues with some red thing, but I don't think it helps much. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. I'll press Y again, and the freeze will go off. And now, yep, that's the center. So now let's look at what's our base of the animation. So everything is animating pretty much from this guy. The frown just goes flat and then up and stays up, and then the eyebrows come in and the thumbs down come out, and smiley stays there, and he gets a glass and a thumbs up. So basically we have 5 part animation, and the default should be just a normal smiley. So we'll put that in. We press shift on whatever axis you are, so it stays on the same axis. The glass will take the glass a bit up because in the animation it comes from up to down, and it'll be useful if we take it up right now. And we put it to 0 in the layer so we can see that, and being a pain. So this is our default kind of state. Now let's start making animations. You just click on animate. I've got already these set because I was already playing with this before, but I'll just go through everything again and delete everything. So another thing, you can't delete them all together, so you're gonna have to delete them one by one, which is annoying. So yep, you delete that. Let's name it. Let's name it uh, 3 star. 3 stars. 3 stars. Oh, 3 stars is when it's on average. So it's smiling. So it's on the 4 stars. We gave it 4 stars. The only thing we need to animate in this is like put a keyframe on. So keyframe is the one that's gonna remind each next frame that this element was here, this element was here. So we need to keyframe the smile. You can press command and hover over the items that you want to animate. So you can just click on it and then press enter. Enter twice. On the smiley, you're in the path. Now in the vertex edit mode, this is pretty much the main guy that is handling all the smiles, so you don't need to move these guys. He's the one that's responsible at this point, so you can just take him, see what's the important area. This looks pretty okay, and it'll automatically put keyframes on X and Y. So our 4 star is done. Let's go new animation. Let's do 3 stars. 3 stars is when he's not very impressed. So you go here and put him in the flat. And let's go to 2 stars. 2 stars is when he's a bit upset. So let's take him all the way up. And that looks pretty upset. Yep, leave him over there. The keyframes will be set automatically. And now he's gonna be angry. He's gonna be very angry because the service was shit. Yep, let's get in there. And in the angry, we also had this frown and thumbs up. So let's get out from there. The frown, the worries is over there. Take him, bring him down by pressing shift and drag it down. I'm pressing shift so it doesn't go right or left, stays in the same axis. And now you can put it to 100. There's two ways for your layers to be transparent. You can do it here or you can do it on the layers. Usually you should better do it from the layers area because it gives you more options like blending and other stuff. So yeah, that's done. Where's his thumbs down? Thumbs down is over there. Let's get this bar, press shift, take him out. Yep, thumbs down is done. And it already added the keyframe because it notices that something had changed from before. Now let's go and put 5 stars. 5 stars. You've done a great job. Let's give them 5 stars. 5 stars. Right. 5 stars. Yep. So 5 star, the smiley stays the same. We get a thumbs out. So we just press shift and the arrow, drag it out. It's already animated with the keyframes. The glasses, let's bring them down. So it'll animate the y-axis because only the y-axis has changed. And then we put them 100. Done. So now our stars are all done. So we have 1 star, angry, frowny, 2 star, pretty sad, 3 star, flat, 4 star, a bit happy, 5 star, chill, and a thumbs up. Now we need to make a state machine which will respond to the triggers and put animation between these. So state machine is so right now we haven't added any keyframe in this whole timeline because the state machine is going to take care of those transitions. Usually you can also put animations here and use them here, and you can call straight up animations in your Rive file. If something like a splash or a loader, you can make them over here. But in this case, we are letting the state machine take care of the transition. So we'll go and make a state machine. I'll delete the old one that I have made so there's no confusion. Yep. Make a new state machine. Reviews. Done. So what you'll have to do is state machine gives you this kind of board, and then you'll have to think of logic. What logic would work? You get basically three things to work on that state machines. You get a trigger. Trigger is something that something happens and then it moves on. So uh, you press a button and the button unclicks, and then it's whatever you press for that thing happens, and then it's over. Boolean is true or false. So you turn the light on and it stays on. If you turn the light off, it stays off. So it's not like you turn the light on, it gets on and gets off. To get on and off is trigger, and to stay on is Boolean. So uh, it, that condition stays on with the Boolean. And the number is basically, it's like a trigger which each number, so 0 to 100 you get, and all that is a trigger. In that range you can call that trigger. So if it's in that range, it's going to call it. It's kind of like actually a boolean in that, because if it stays on that number, it's always active. But when we get into it, you'll get a bit more idea when you play a bit more into it. So the first thing which I do for visually knowing what I want to do is drag all these animation in first. So 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, I keep them in the same order, so it's easier for me to map out. So by default you get three items. You get entry, any state, and exit. So entry is used when you know what's your entry point of the animation. So if you know your animation starts with a loader or a wave, and that wave would go, depending on the user input, a wave would go higher and wave would go lower, then your entry would go from there, and then you drag it to whatever animation it was. Exit is basically if you have a loop going on, and if in a condition meets. So if you have a loader going on, and or a sign-in process going on, and the condition meets of authentication, you can call that condition, and when it meets you can exit that animation. And while exiting that animation, you can have like another nice transition you can add. That's when you use this exit animation. And any state is when basically you don't know that where the animation would start. It could go either ways. Like whatever the user selects, there's no base state for it. Any state goes on any direction. So just for the sake of understanding, I'll go and make like all trigger values first, so we have a bit of understanding. Let's see, make trigger of unsatisfied would be the five, sorry, one star, and then below average would be the 4 star, average would be the flat face, like, super like. So now we have these triggers. We can start putting them, like connecting the nodes. So if we go with the any state, we connect the first, we connect the second. You can add the conditions later if you, or you can go do as you go. I just connect them first and then I go and add the conditions. So they're all connected if it's on any state. And the transition I put as 200. And the condition, if it's unsatisfied, it goes to 1 star. If it's below average, it goes to 2 stars. To read up automatically. If it's average, it goes to 3 star. If it's like, goes to 4 star. And if it's super like, goes to 5 star. Oops, my super like spelling is wrong. Fix it. Yep. So now our triggers are set. We can just press the play here, and then this, by the way, this 175, this is of this node area. You can expand it by clicking on here. It goes all the way up, because right now we have very few animations playing in it, but sometimes it can get very complex and there's like a big web, so you would probably need that feature. So now to see the animation in action, we press play and then we click the trigger. Yep, that works. 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 We have one problem, that the frown and the thumbs didn't go out. So to do that, what problem would that be is because There's no idle state, there's no flat state, so it's on any state. If it was an idle state, it would go back to the idle state first, which was the average, and then it will go to the next state. So it will remember that this thumb was deactivated, like it was inside the face and the frown was up. So in this case, we'll have to go onto each of these frames and basically remind it, add the keyframes on it, that you have to be at this opacity and you have to be at this spot. It's going to be the same with the glasses. It's going to be the same with the frowns. The frowns, yep. Position. Do it again. The thumbs. Yep. Yep. Now let's see. Review 1. Review 2. Oh, below average is still the thumb needs to go. Yep. It's not keyframed yet. Yep. Now we keyframed it. That should be fixed. Yep. Super like, oh, and like, the glasses don't go now, so we have to go and find the glasses in the like. Wait, there you are. Set the trigger on the position, not the trigger, keyframe on the position, and on the opacity. Yeah, that's done. Let's see. Yep, yep, that works. That works. That works. Yep, that works. But now when you go, if they went from 0 or 1 to 5, then we have a problem. So you have to pretty much troubleshoot and test the whole animation where there would be bugs, where would it give problems to the user. So to battle test it, we even keyframe in all these animations. So we go to the glasses is selected, and the position is keyframe, and the opacity is keyframe, and the thumbs up like, that's also keyframe that. Yep, no need the opacity on it. And on the 5 star as well, let's take the frown, the worries, and keyframe that as well. And where was it? Thumbs down. Keyframe the position of thumbs down. And yeah, yes. So everything works fine except this thumb. When if they're on, if they go to the point one and then they go to any other point like below average or average, this hand is not going. It's because you guessed it. On these below average and average, so that'll be 3 and 2. That thumb is not keyframe. So let's keyframe that 3 and let's keyframe that, and now it will work. Yep. Yep. Oh, yep. 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 Done. That's all you had to do. You can give these triggers to your developers, and they can map it to each input at 1, 2, 3, or 4, and the animation would go from there. You can call it how long you want to call. You can give it a slower duration. You can give it a more duration, and pretty much that's it. It's all you had to do, and now your animation is ready to be plugged in. I, however, if I had to do it, I would do it with a drag bar, which gives the user more input. So if the developer goes ahead and goes with this one, he probably will have to do a snap trigger, like a snap drag bar. Snap drag bar is like it'll go to stick to position 1, and then when you drag a bit more, it goes to 2, 3, 4, 5. So it just snaps to these 5 positions, which is also good, which is a good experience for some. But I like, if I want to do, I'll go like a smooth drag bar. For the smooth drag bar, you have to probably try the number. So I've got another example of the smooth drag bar where I did the number. We mapped from 0 to 100, and each time the user would drag, the whole thing would go like pretty seamlessly. So if you want to see this one, comment on it, give me some incentives to make more videos, and I'll make a one on this and more like that. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.